Throughout history, we, as humans, have used the power of our minds to achieve incredible and amazing feats. In reality, our minds are simply tools we use to create our thoughts. And the quality of our thoughts determines the quality of our experiences. A simple shift in perception will quickly and easily improve how you feel and what you believe is possible, helping you to achieve all of your personal goals, even those that previously seemed unattainable. Join us now as we explore the vast landscapes of our minds. This is Mind Over Matter.
Hello, I'm Brandy Jokeel.
And I'm Mitch Friedman, and we're both certified clinical hypnotherapists. And we're here tonight with Mind Over Matter.
We teach you how to use the power of your mind to feel better and get more of what you want in your life.
Yeah, that sounds like a good way to start the show. I'm ready for that right now. Feel a little bit better.
Yeah. So tonight we have a really interesting show for you. I do a session with Miss Christine Scott, and it's actually a hypnotherapy session known as a natal or womb time regression.
It's a powerful session. It's a very powerful session. It's amazing what really comes up and what we're processing during that womb time.
Yeah, so we actually regress, when we do a natal or womb time regression, we actually regress the client back to before they incarnated in this lifetime. So obviously when we do a session like this, the client has to have a personal belief or philosophy that interlife exists, perhaps even a philosophy about past life or life between lives, and then we move them through conception all the way through the gestation, through birth, and we're looking for any limiting ideas or beliefs that were imprinted at that really early, very formative times in their lives.
And it really is amazing what comes up during these sessions. First of all, starting off in interlife I think is so powerful because people are actually getting their purpose in life, which is a great way to start the session. And also reasons why they're coming forward and coming into this lifetime. But also during that womb time, it's amazing how that little infant doesn't really know the difference between what they're feeling and what they're deciding and their experience in the womb. They can't really tell the difference between what's theirs and what's their mom's. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's kind of like a fish that's swimming in water. It doesn't even realize that the water is its home or its universe. It's just what is. A baby developing in the womb rather, doesn't understand that they're swimming in the universe and universe is mom. So every thought and feeling that mom has, baby can pick up on it and can't really differentiate, is that my worry or thought or is that mom's?
And it's amazing when we do have those decisions that we decide, and you'll see during the session some of those limited ideas that do come up, that it starts all the way back when we're perhaps a month old or a week old in that little womb. It really is amazing that that thought or idea that we're deciding or accepting in that moment plays out and programs the rest of our life.
And it's wonderful to use the natal regression session, again, to uncover those limiting beliefs. And once they're uncovered, not to just say, oh, that's interesting, I think that, but to actually reverse them so you have a different experience. So anytime we run a session like this, we always run it with an issue in mind, so something that the person wants to change in their life. And for the purpose of this session with Christine, we've actually kept the issue out of the session, meaning as the session was run, we were working on the issue, but it's been edited out.
Keep it a little private for Christine.
Yeah, keep it a little private there. And also just know that in the editing of this session actually ran almost 2 hours, and we've edited down to fit into this show. So there's times that you will see the edit clips, and also I'll ask Christine a question, and pretty quickly she'll answer the question. That's generally not what happens in a regression. There's a lot of empty space or pause time while the client is actually accessing the information. So you'll see a bit of a speeded up version through the power of editing and television.
And since we did edit parts of this out for the show, and to fit into our time zone here, our 1 hour, don't try this at home. You do not have all the information, so please, if you want to have a natal session or have any questions, you can contact Brandy and I on our website at itsyourmindthatmatters.com. Our phone numbers are there and you can call us. Please don't do this at home.
No. Again, heed Mitch's little advice there, and if you have any questions at all, certainly please give us a call.
So we're going to go ahead and get into the session now, and just to how this all starts is Brandy uses the induction, the hypnotic induction, to bypass the critical factor, the part of the mind that keeps us really busy and criticizes and analyzes. So all the hypnosis really does is bypass that critical factor to have access to the subconscious mind, and like we said, all those memories that are available to us. So ready to start?
Yep, sit back, relax, and enjoy this Womb Time Regression with Christine Scott. Hello, I'm here with Christine Scott, and today we're going to do a womb time or natal regression session. Thanks, Christine, for coming in today.
I'm glad to be here.
And today we're going to take you back to before your birth and explore all the events of coming into this life, of conception, of gestation, all the way up through your birth. Christine, what do you know about your birth consciously now?
I know that I was born in a hospital in Indianapolis. I was an illegitimate child in 1950. My mother was 21 years old. She was unconscious at my birth and never saw me after I was born.
So she was unconscious, she never saw you.
Right. I stayed in the nursery until I was 6 weeks old, when I was taken home by my adoptive parents.
Did your mother regain consciousness after you were born? Or did she pass, or?
Oh, they took her away they took me, and then they wheeled her up to a different floor altogether. So she wasn't anywhere near the maternity floor until she left the hospital.
Oh, okay, so does that mean she gave you up for adoption?
Okay. She gave me up for adoption.
Okay. Are there any family stories, or what are the family stories around your birth? Anything that you've heard about after you were born, when your parents adopted you?
Well, I did. My mother told me the story of my mother was Catholic and my father wasn't, which back then was a big deal. So they weren't sure they were going to be able to adopt. And they'd been married for about 5 years when I was born. My mother always wanted a big family. But, so there was some iffiness about whether or not they were in a mixed marriage, it was called then, whether or not they would be able to adopt a child. But my father was on the staff of the hospital where I was born. He was a physician, and they started going through the process of trying to do a private adoption, and one of the nuns in the nursery, I guess the head, because the hospital was run by nuns then, came to my father and said that they had a baby for him and my mom. And that was me. And then my birth mother told me when I met her that her doctor had basically made the arrangements, that it wasn't done so much through lawyers as it was. I mean, it was a legal adoption, but that basically her physician, the physician that delivered me, was the one that made it happen.
Now, Christine, just check in with yourself for a moment, and how are you feeling? What feelings are coming up for you as we're talking about your birth? That's it. Just let it come. It's okay.
It was an ordeal for everyone. was hard. I got sick afterwards. I had respiratory distress.